Which is the safest, most innovative and sustainable form of energy? I know that most of you are thinking solar energy, but the correct answer is wind energy. But why? It's because solar panels that convert sun rays into electricity for powering your household contain hazardous materials like cadmium and lead. Experts warn that large amounts of annual waste from solar panels are anticipated by the early 2030s. Wind energy, fortunately, doesn't come with this kind of baggage, but it has been held back for the longest time due to the expensive wind power generators or turbines as well, the land required to harness the power of the wind. But all this is going to change. The world is now almost on the verge of getting the PowerPod, a portable, highly efficient home wind turbine being developed by Halcyon, a startup in Utah, to generate electricity the cost-effective way. But before we delve into this absolutely riveting topic, please do smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for more green tech news. Let's formally meet the PowerPod. It is the most powerful, safest, small home wind turbine. I know it doesn't look like the wind turbines you have seen, tall, mighty structures with 3 blades. But don't underestimate the power of the PowerPod. What sets the PowerPod apart from the other wind turbines is that it is compact and is designed to work with an internal blade. The blade in the PowerPod is inside a stationary shell you see here, not sticking in your face and making that irritating whirring sound like normal wind turbines. I do know that you are thinking that with the blades hidden inside a casing, how does the PowerPod make electricity from wind? These unwieldy wind turbines with rotor blades convert wind energy into electricity using the force of the wind hitting their blades. So what happens here is that when the wind hits and flows across the blade of a wind turbine, the air pressure on one of its sides decreases. It is this difference in air pressure across the 2 sides of the blade that causes the rotor blade to spin. This movement basically is what is harnessed into usable electricity through complex actions that will be too tough to understand. So I am not getting into here. This home turbine has no external rotating or rotor blades, which work like the helicopter rotating blades to make electricity like the big turbines with huge blades. It does so with sharp engineering using a principle of physics called the Venturi effect. I call this principle a miracle. How the PowerPod accomplishes making electricity from wind using the miracle of Venturi effect is like this. Because of its shape, the outer shell of the PowerPod can catch wind from any direction or even multiple directions at once. It can then speed it up before it hits the internal rotator blade. Ridiculously simple, but so powerful. I know I am taking liberty with physics here, but think of how a funnel works. You pour liquid into it, and you collect the liquid by keeping a vessel beneath it. The Venturi effect makes the outer shell of the PowerPod collect wind from 360 degrees and then harness its power to send it towards the rotor blade inside. So the Venturi effect converts the outer shell of the PowerPod into a super smart wind funnel, if you will. After this, pure physics takes over. The blade converts the wind's kinetic energy into mechanical energy, which is then converted into lovely free electricity for you. This principle is used by the other wind turbines with long, sharp and huge blades too. This small, innocuous-looking wind turbine can provide up to 1.5 kilowatt of electrical power, which is good enough to power typical household devices like your gaming computer, fridge, your LED screens, and it can power up your Tesla too. No problem. The PowerPod, your very own small wind turbine, is designed to work in cities. It is a very good option for use in your home or office, and is excellent for off-the-grid living too. All you need to do is take this small turbine with you, keep it in your yard or the rooftop, and it begins generating electricity on the go. But that is not the only advantage of the PowerPod. This home wind turbine is also, number 1, safe, as there are no sharp blades that can injure your child, pet, wild animals, or even you. Number 2, cost efficient, as it starts paying back to you in just a matter of years, as you can sell excess electricity to the grid. Number 3, attractive, as its design is truly futuristic and clean, keeping the target consumer in mind. Because it looks so stylish and sleek, it can blend in easily with your cool home or any urban environment for that matter. Number 4, it is green power, which means that it doesn't increase global temperatures like fossil fuel-powered electricity does. Number 5, the PowerPod also allows you to live in any place you want. You can live on the top of a mountain if you so want. With a PowerPod, you can generate your electricity. The PowerPod is a game-changing wind innovation you need to see at work to truly understand how efficient it is. I know many of you viewers are still using PV solar panels to generate electricity, But solar energy, my friends, is old technology and old news. Don't believe me? Here is all the evidence you may need to believe me when I say PowerPod is the future of sustainable green energy. PV solar panels are like the small mobile handsets of yore that could do no more than make and receive calls, and the PowerPod is like the iPhone that can live your life for you. Let us amplify this PowerPod versus solar panel analogy a bit now. Solar panels take up a lot of space. They deteriorate over time as they get exposed to wind, sun, rain, and even bird droppings. For this reason, they need maintenance and care. You have to replace them once every 10 to 20 years or so. Which means more money is required. Plus, they generate a lot of waste which can be hazardous as the panels contain heavy metals that can cause cancers. The PV solar panels can also not work in the shade or at night, as they need the sun to power their internal reaction that creates electricity. They also have to be positioned in a space that receives sun over longer periods, which means that there should not be too many trees or tall houses around these panels. But where on earth can you live where you are not surrounded by taller buildings? See the problem with home solar energy? Wind is the new solar. And here are just a few reasons for my saying so. Wind turbines like the PowerPod do not depend on the weather or time of the day to make electricity. They can produce electricity as long as the wind is flowing. The PowerPod has a long life and needs almost no maintenance. You don't have to clean the dirt and bird droppings from over its surface like you do if you have PV solar panels installed on your roof or backyard. Wind turbines are also more efficient than solar panels. This means they can convert a higher percentage of wind power into electricity as compared to PV solar panels. Their efficiency is a high 35%, which means only 65% of wind power is wasted. The PowerPod, and this applies to all wind panels too, have a low carbon footprint. They require less resources to manufacture, transport, and set up as compared to PV solar panels. They are made of aluminum and steel, which are biodegradable and reusable materials, and they require less space and fewer placement restrictions as compared to PV solar panels. PowerPods can do their job with both slower winds and hurricane-force wind speeds. And what's even more awesome is that they remain efficient over longer periods. What this means is that the PowerPod can make the same amount of electricity it made even after it gets older. Since the wind is more predictable than sunlight, you always have electricity when you need it, and you don't need a backup power source if you have the PowerPod. Last but not least, the PowerPod is easy to install. You just need to connect it to your existing system at home or to a battery. You can also connect several PowerPods in series to generate more electricity. With the PowerPod, you are not affected by a power outage. You always have your source of electricity at home. You are self-reliant and stress-free. Is it truly time to bid a silent goodbye to solar energy? Not yet, as the PowerPod is at the prototype stage. It's part of Halcyon's upcoming meta-energy system that promises high-worth individuals like you complete energy-independent solutions. Since the PowerPod is a global solution, Halcyon's goal is to produce them locally, with local manufacturing and materials. That's all for today. Like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can get you more tech news you can use to live your best life ever.